Greetings, y'all. This is Fashayo, the Earth Mother, and I'm gonna go ahead and do this Mother Wound Challenge. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it because I'm having such a hard time processing it. So I may end up doing another video, but like I said before, my mom and I are very close, um, and this is hard because we are so close, and I think that I have I don't know the word for it, but I have like made her perfect. So like she's without error, inerrant, like the word of God, whatever. Um, and it's just not true. And I don't even think that she would um be cool with me thinking to that degree. So people who are close to me know that I love my mama. Um, but there are things that have happened. So this challenge made me have to think about it, not to be critical, but just to be able. The purpose of this challenge is to help you be your full self. So I was born and raised in a Christian household, and I'm telling you this part because this is part of my mother womb. But I was raised in a Christian household. My dad is more of a legalistic Christian, meaning that he wants to go step by step by step. He's one of the New Testament grace for himself, Old Testament punishment for everybody else kind of thing. My mama is more like a free in the Lord kind of non-judgmental for the most part kind of person. So I grew up with my dad, who was very critical and would um, he was superstitious and all that stuff. So I was always and like I said, very legalistic. I was always kind of like decisive in what I wanted to do and what I didn't want to do. I was always drawn to like the occult, I guess. Now I call it womancraft most of the time. I was drawn to other things, otherworldly things, other ways of doing things. I've always been really curious. I've always questioned just about everything and everybody, especially authority figures, because I've always found them to be really oppressive. So the mother wound comes in because when my dad would like mistreat me, which was a lot in my memory, part of the problem that I had is that I never saw her come to my defense. So at some point, I know I was an adult, but I'm like 37 now, so I might have been maybe in my 20s. And I told her, I was like, you never came to my defense. Like, you never told him, don't talk to Keisha like that. Don't whatever. Like, I never saw her come to my defense. And she told me, well, I did, but I would say it to him in private because she's more private. I'm one of them, if you show your ass out in public, then that's what we gonna handle it, because you wasn't embarrassed, so what the hell I'm gonna be embarrassed for? So I'm more like that. She's more like behind closed doors or whatever. So for me, one of my mother wounds is not feeling like she came to my defense. Like, so I didn't learn at first that I was worth defending. I didn't learn or that she would defend me against the world but not against him, because nobody else could say nothing flip to me. I mean, she handled it right then. Like, I didn't, around her, adults couldn't talk crazy to me. They couldn't treat me any kind of way. But with him, she never would check him like she did the other adults. And she's not the submissive type, so I'm not really sure what that's about. It may be more that she's a protector of the home. And so because he was included in the home, then she kept it private. But if somebody outside that she didn't perceive as being part of the home, like attack me verbally or whatever, then, she would kind of hop to it. So that was that. I didn't get from her that I should be defend it against those that are like close authority figures. What that actually led to with my kids was me fussing at my husband constantly when we first got married, because I defended them at every turn. Like, it didn't matter what he did, whether or not it was rational, right or wrong, whatever. But I was like constantly at him, defending my kids, because you ain't gonna talk to my kids like that, and you ain't gonna do this on my kids, my kids, my kids. So it kind of made me hypersensitive, hyper aware to come into that defense. And then the other thing, and I'm honestly not, I can't put my finger on yet how I ended up like this, but not, like, I make myself small. I learned to make myself small. So I'm just now really coming into my own, doing these readings and doing the oracle readings and doing the coaching that includes, if needed, occultish kind of stuff. Using your intuition, my leg was itching, sorry. Doing those kind of things. I kind of hit, and I'm not sure that I'm like out of the closet yet with my witchy womancraft stuff. I used to not even post the oracle stuff to my business wall. I do now. And she even liked one of them, but I'm not sure what that means. Like, I'm not sure if it means like, I see you, stop it. Or if it means like, because it's like we have a don't ask, don't tell. But anyway, I made myself really small. So even though like different spiritual gifts would manifest, if it was in the confines of the church, she was cool with it. But if it wasn't having to do with Jesus, then she wasn't really cool with it. And I'm not sure if she ever said it to me or if I just knew. And so I was so scared that our relationship would be over if I came out of my witch closet. And so only now am I starting to fully embrace who I am as an adult woman, as a whole woman, as a separate human being. I did a video about self-awareness, and I'm realizing now that it's taken me almost 40 years to become self-aware, to become aware that I am not still attached to my mother by way of umbilical cord. Because I, until like a couple of months ago, was super like hyper concerned with what she was going to feel, to the point when I would talk about it, I would burst into tears at the stress of what if my mom doesn't speak to me when she finds out I'm doing these oracle readings, or divination, as they would call it, or a lot of people call it. But what is she gonna say? What is she gonna do? And even though honestly I still have that fear, we almost are on a don't ask, don't tell vibe right now. But honestly, the reason that I'm coming out of the broom closet is because I don't want my daughter to live like that. Like, I want her to always be able to be her full self, whether I like approve of it or not. I don't ever want her to make herself small. I don't ever want her to be less of who she is, no matter what that who she is. I don't ever, because I birthed her big, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to try to shrink her out of fear. And I don't want to put fears into her. So that's part of my motivation. Those are the two mother wounds that I thought of immediately. I'm sorry, y'all, for the background noise. That's our dog who thinks she's a horse. How am I healing it? I am healing it by way of embracing my wild woman, which y'all know I'm big on the wild woman concept. I'm big on the self-love concept. So, self-loving my wild woman. And just so that you understand, like your wild woman is that deeply intuitive part of yourself. If we ever do like a yoni reading or a wild woman reading, it's that deeply intuitive part of yourself. It's like if you think, if you imagine your 120-year-old self talking to yourself right now, what would she tell you? That's your wild woman. That's that hag, that they had us so fearful of becoming, with the hanging breast and, the wrinkly skin and all this stuff that they put so much fear in us as young women, that we will become these old, wrinkly old women. Well, but that wrinkly old woman is the one who is free from all like oppressive concepts. She does not care what anybody else thinks about her. She has learned that moving according to the desires and whims and controls and oppressions of others is not the way to live fully. And also, in my opinion, that's one of the steps to escaping this wheel of reincarnation and karma and all this stuff that we suffer from. I can't fully heal people if I'm playing it small. I cannot do it. Like, I can't, even if I hadn't done the work that I've done already, I wouldn't be able to tell y'all about self-love. I had to walk fire to learn that lesson, or I'm still learning that lesson, but that's not what I read in a book. The stuff that I tell y'all is stuff that I did. And knowing me, I read a book somewhere because I always read, but the things that I teach y'all from that perspective, that's what I lived. The wild woman is something that I constantly am not even honing, but I'm opening up to her constantly, in little ways. But like at the retreat, I was like, it's hot, I'm taking my shirt off, so I have my little sports bra on or whatever. Next time y'all might see boobies. I don't know, cause I've been wanting to sun my twat like Nubia Sunshine did. I think she needs some sun, and I think these titties need to see, some sun. So for me, that's my self-love and wild woman. So I'm starting to embrace those things in order to heal from these rules that have been put on me, even with the letting your boobs out kind of thing. Well, my mom, up until she had a recent breast surgery or preventative surgery, she was extremely endowed. And so she always was funny about wearing a bra. You need to wear a bra. It needs to be a good bra. And she would pay like a lot of money for these really good bras. Well, I don't really have any boobies. This is what I'm working with. So I don't like paying more than $10 for a bra. And most of my bras are like, I guess the equivalent of training bras from when we was little. So it's like a tank top. Just, and so she put her reality of having these huge boobies that needed to be in a bra on me with my little itty bitty titty committee self. And so it's things like that we have to look for with the mother wound. Like, this is her belief for herself, and that's all she had to work with, so she imposed it on me. Well, I don't have any titties. Not, what I'm saying? They need to be, well, none of them need to be strapped down, but you know what I'm saying? And so what I'm doing is I'm letting go of things that are not useful to me. One sister at the retreat, absolutely gorgeous woman, whose name I can't remember, but she had blonde twists, and she like exuded goddess. I don't know who this lady was. I can't remember her name. I see her face so clearly. But anyway, we was talking about, I was telling her how my drawers were malfunctioning. And she was telling me, she was like, she looked at me like I was looking in the face of God. And she was like, Goddess, if it doesn't serve you, let it go. Just take them off. Be free. if anything does not serve you, get rid of it. I mean, that thing got in my soul. It's like, yeah, burn these bitches, So I was like, I want to burn my drawers. But it's to me, when I encounter women like that, it's like y'all don't understand. Y'all are building the wild woman brick by brick. Like, I'm listening. Um, and that's how we learn. We interact with each other. We take, those things, or we don't take. I do believe in giving credit where credit is due. Like, if I can remember that sister's name, I know she does belly dancing and all this kind of stuff. But she freed me. You know what I'm saying? Like, she, with that little interaction, when she just said, if it does not serve, but like, if it doesn't serve you, like my aunt say, if it don't make you wet, get rid of that shit. Because I tell people all the time, if it's something, I know I'm on something else, but y'all need to hear it. So the thing is that if it's not working for you, if it doesn't, if it's somebody else's crap, because with the mother wound, that's my mama's stuff, and it served her well, and she is a beautiful mama. Like, my mama is the best. I mean, I love y'all. My mama is the best, so I mean, what, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry you ain't get us mama. I chose well. But it's like, she came here with her own destiny. No different than I look at my children and say they came here with their own destiny. So she gave me what she knew how to give me. But it don't mean I'm supposed to carry all of it. So I guess that's the healing of the mother wound too, is understanding, don't play it small. Don't be less than I am here to be. Understanding that if I try to live my path the way she wants me to live my path, or the way I perceive that she wants me to live my path, because she ain't really ever told me clearly, hey, I want you to do this, that, or the other. So if I am trying to like live my path according to the way I perceive that she would want me to, and I'm basically trying to manifest what I think she wanted me to manifest, I ain't doing my work. And I have to do my work. I have to keep my eyes on my own paper. I have to keep my feet on my own path. I have to, burn my own underwear. Throw my own bra in the fire. Whatever. I have to do what works for me, because the more my daughter sees me living powerfully, and the more she sees me healing from my mother wounds, the more she'll be able to quickly and earlier in her life heal from the ones that I have given her, because I knew my poor daughter has mother wounds, because I was an ass. Like, in the beginning, I'm doing much better now because of my cipher. Like, I mean, shout out to Nina and Ifa Lola, because yeah, y'all have trained me, yeah, in the art of motherhood. But me healing from mine will enable her to heal so much faster, and she won't have the pressure to try to pretend like she'll know that I'm not disappointed in her healing herself. She'll know what she knows. I hope, I should ask, that it's okay for her to release the things that don't serve her highest good, even if that means some stuff that I taught her, even if it means some stuff that I feel like this is the way you do it. Maybe it ain't the way you do it. But being able to release our daughters from this stuff too. So that, because we don't have to impose mother wounds. Like, they don't have to be wounds. I don't think. So anyway, okay. So of course, I'm coming up on 20 minutes again. Anyway, this is my mother wound video. I hope y'all enjoy it and learn something from it. I look forward to seeing y'all's videos. So thank y'all so much in advance for participating. Love y'all. Peace, love, and abundance. Odabo.